Let's recap from last month. So we had our new moon in Taurus, our full moon in Sagittarius. It was a month of trying to protect yourself from your childhood trauma robbing you, being the thief of your happiness. We started the month with the carryover from that April full moon, and then we had Taurus take the baton in the new moon, and she was pretty much being our counselors, telling everyone, look, Scorpio is a disgusting energy. When you let it be that, let's not let the disgustingness of that energy overlap our actual frequencies and energies. Let us let whatever it is that's going on know that you are forgiven, even though you will never ask for forgiveness, and we are moving on. Sagittarius kind of outlined the narcissism in that energy and how it loves to make one feel like a victim. The more victimized you feel, the more powerful it feels, until it has robbed you of everything that makes you happy, everything that makes you human, everything that makes your humanity balance, and then it uses you as one of its tools, one of its toys, to later go on and hurt other individuals. The energy of Sagittarius told us, let's not do that. Let's socialize if we can. If we can't, let us stay away from such energies. And when they do present themselves to us, let's just be still. Let us not give them the ability to think that they can take over us, but let them know that we see them and do what you want, because it's what you're going to do anyway. Let us allow them to see that they are in a different space and time. It is them that is limited. It is them that have not grown, that have not evolved. It is not us. Now, with all that being said, we are now entering the energy of the new moon in Gemini. Now, I've gotten so excited over this, I can barely hold myself back. The new moon in Gemini is on 666. So the time came where the little kids grew up and realized that the scary stories of the acting adults didn't pertain to them. It was simply spirits entertaining themselves with a story and energy and embodiment that had nothing to do with the new generation that had been born. Here's what happened. The adults who raised you forgot that they were spirits. They forgot that they were a part of what is known as the infinite. They forgot that. And so in the darkness, in the fear of it all, they kind of started creating these stories to keep themselves aligned, in line, and entertained. As these stories got passed forward from one generation to another, though it became clear that the stories were not real, they weren't truthful, the adults of that time had already tied themselves to that quote-unquote belief system, and therefore they had to keep the story going. You see, there's a part of me that's very she messy, okay? Because she's like, is the not caring and telling the whole lie for me. You understand? Like, there's a part of bull that's real messy, okay? Anyways, it's the telling them that there's Santa Claus and you know there ain't no Santa Claus for me. Anyways, so the one thing that I've noticed in these situations is that individuals who open themselves up to do tarot, they end up falling into the pits of not Wonderland, but social land, belief land, all that nonsense, right? Because if you recall in the May video, I talked about how we're creating these characters, we're creating these fictitious characters all around us, and then they come to life in our subconscious or our conscious mind, and then we start going crazy and running away from them, and they're running after you and you're running away from them, and they're running after you and you're running away from them, and it's like, this is tiring. And a lot of people in the tarot, the spiritual world, they haven't clipped those cords to the imaginary friends, you know? They haven't cut those cords. So with not cutting the cords, they're literally running away from something that's string to them, you know? It's your own belief system. It's your own nonsense, really, that's doing the hurt to you. So here we are. A lot of you will see 666 and you will be like, oh my God, this girl is serving the devil. I'm not listening to her videos anymore. And I'm going to tell you, good riddance. Good riddance. Because we are in the space of spirituality. We are not in the space of ignorance. In my group, we don't scare ourselves because we created a monster that thinks it's bigger than us. We kind of let the monster run wild. And as the monster run wild, we sit and watch it. Like, oh. We sit and watch the monster like, oh my God. Here you thought. Here Pinocchio thought Pinocchio was a real boy. Pinocchio thought he was a real boy. He's not. It's the same thing with all these scary monsters. When we're children, they implant them in our bodies, in our minds, in our subconscious spaces, so that we can believe them, and that we, as our parents are doing to their crazy selves, could be entertained by our imaginary friends. But then these imaginary friends start trying to take over the story, and they start believing that the story is about them, but the story is about me. I'm the real one. I'm Alice. This is my wonderland. How dare you? So that's why the number 666 will make a lot of you go away. And it's okay. Because you're simply not seeing the big picture. Once you walk through the doors, the hall, you walk down the hall of spirituality, meditation, being one with self, and you realize, dang, this is all about me. This is crazy. I'm kind of doing this to myself. What? You start treating yourself differently. You start treating yourself accordingly. And as you do that, you make sure that there's a level of respect and honor in what you do. That's what the 666 stand for. And if you read that last part, it says, on a personal spiritual path to heal your mind, body, spirit, and emotion. There's nowhere where it speaks of the monster that's going to crawl out of the earth with the red horns and the pointy tail and the scary parts. It's literally about you. It's about healing you, healing yourself. It's impossible to live at this level and not understand. And that's where a lot of us hit that snag. I've seen people do tarot, and they've gone from tarot to just pure fear, and then they start claiming that the devil got them. I'm like, well, you give your imaginary friend too much power. You shouldn't give that person so much power. It's just an imaginary friend that was created from your subconscious when you were asleep, being taught by the people who brought you into this world that fear is the best formula to existing in this world, which it's not. It really isn't. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to let you think about that for a moment, and we're going to jump into that new moon on June 6, 2024. So prior to jumping into that new moon energy, that new moon in Gemini on on June 6, 2024, kind of pulled the tarot card. And what the tarot is telling us is you're reaching that space of justice. No matter what you thought, no matter what you felt, no matter what you think is going on, you've literally reached the point of justice. Don't mind me, the energies that are controlling my body are acting a fool. Don't mind that. And so what that means for you is that don't discredit yourself. Don't discredit who you are, where you're going, what you've been to, what you've been through, where you're supposed to be, where you are now versus where you will be tomorrow, your successes, your failures. Don't discredit those things, because at the end of the day, even though most of them were not your choices, even though most of them were not your options, they still make you who you are. You understand? The traumas that we talked about in April and May, they made you the strong adult that you are today. The neglect that the child in you experienced, it made you an independent, self-sustaining machine. So don't you ever doubt who you are. Practice some justice with yourself. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt, because clearly you've given everyone else the benefit of the doubt in your life, which is why they thought that it was okay for them to do the things that they do to you, and to not stop but continuously do the things that they do to you until you eventually cut them off. You understand? Psychopath, sociopath, narcissist, victimizers, traumatizers, handlers, they don't know no. They don't know stop. They just know, why isn't this person giving me the attention that they normally would give me? That's all they know. You want to figure out one of these people, just stop giving them your attention. Give yourself that attention. That is a strong way of practicing justice. Balance your scales. Hold up your sword. Protect yourself. Defend yourself. Instead of giving these irrelevance control in practice over your life. Don't do that. I always, when I see the justice card, I always think about the little girl that I was, that used to go to sleep with tears in her eyes and no one knew. Not a single person that I loved knew that I was crying by myself. I made it. And half of those people, when I did tell them that happened, there was nothing that they could do for me. So a lot of the times we're putting so much pressure on ourselves. We're putting so much blame on ourselves, when all we have to do is give yourself a chance at justice. Understand that certain things could be your fault, but most of it is not your fault. And let it go. We're going to jump right into this new moon, all right? So the twins bring the energy of harmony. Remember, in our previous videos, we talk about duality. We talk about which zodiac signs bring about duality. And there's the Gemini twins and the Piscean fish. Those are the two that bring about duality. And then if you take it up a notch, you have the Libra scales that kind of balance that duality out. A new moon in Gemini on 666 is beautiful, because 9 times out of 10, when we try to balance ourselves, we find ourselves at a standstill, only because we neglect to acknowledge that dark side of us. Now, in the first part of the video, I talked about the 666, the true meaning of the 666, and what the practice of religion, of ignorance, really, if you want to call religion what it is, ignorance, has caused us to start believing instead of knowing. Okay? The sign of Gemini is teaching us, look, I'm in the month of 6. The day is 6. The year, take out the 20, leave the 24, is 6. Even the time of rising, 6:15, 6 and 1 plus 5 is still 6. You understand? There's a message that's being screamed across the universe. Balance yourselves, that people are just not understanding. Now, when individuals see the sixes, the first thing they're going to think about is imbalancement. Now, don't get me wrong. Those of you that are in the practice of ignorance are imbalanced. You are practicing naturally, proudly, may I say, proudly practicing imbalancement. You're lying to yourself. You're believing your lie and you're practicing your lie. That's 666. You understand? The opposite of that is those who live in the balance. They live in the knowing. They understand the only way to survive and to live in this world is to live in balance. You have to live in balance. If you don't live in balance, then one side of you is going to attract the wrong side, and that side that you attract is going to manipulate and subjugate your side to do things that you would not naturally want to do. What do I mean by that? You have the energy of Gemini. The energy of Gemini, it represents light and dark. It represents knowing and unknowing. It represents your sun and your moon. It represents the relationship of you, consciousness and soul, consciousness and spirit, right? When in your consciousness, you're lying to yourself, right? You're telling yourself things that are not real. Now, when you go into your spiritual realm, you have to keep up with that lie, or else your conscious self that you're creating is going to crack. That is something that every child goes through. There's not a single child on this planet, when they are born in this new age of practicing ignorance, that doesn't go through that. As children, we are spirits. We come into this world knowing. And then once these adults penetrate us, we become unknowing, which means you come knowing, now you're ignorant. Now, once you're ignorant, you have a situation where you're miscreating within your realm. Now, remember, just a few seconds ago, I talked about as you're running away, there's an imaginary friend that's tied to you, that's chasing you for one reason or another. Now, as that individual is chasing you and you're running faster and faster and faster, and that individual's right there running faster and faster and faster, because you're in a space of ignorance, fear is going to take over. Now, when fear takes over, you're going to tell yourself more crazy stories, and oh my God, it becomes a mess. The energy of Gemini, these beautiful twins are telling you, hey, it's you doing it to you. You guys are playing this sick game where one of you closes one eye, the other one closes another eye, and you tell each other a story. And one of you is way darker than the other. Like, one of you gets pleasure out of scaring his sister, her sister, your sibling. One of you gets pleasure out of hurting your sibling. One of you is darker than the other, meaning that one of you just enjoys. It's not harming if you don't bring pain or suffering or trauma, but if it's just fun play between siblings, and siblings meaning your left and right brain, your conscious and unconscious self, your super consciousness and your subconsciousness, however you want to play it, your mind and soul, your mind and spirit, however you want to play that within yourself, right? What the two of you need to come to a resolution of is the fact that you're both being played. It takes years to get it done, and you're both being played. Your conscious mind is being played in the realm of education, socialism, politics, and all that fun stuff. And your subconscious mind is being played in the realm of religion, belief systems, and practices. Now, once either of you snap out of it and wakes the other one up and is like, yo, we're being played, and realizes like it's time for us to band forces and move forward in unity, which is what that 666 is talking about, you're still going to continue to be played. And it's not a fun game to play. It's not a fun game to play at all. There's nothing fun about it. Let's dig a little deeper down Alice's social hole and see what's going on. So we've gone from using the two sisters facing each other, thinking that one was either better or greater than the other, to the two sisters leaning on each other, trying to get out of whatever it was that they thought was a fun time, right? We're on June 6, 2024. We're balancing and working with the throat chakra. We're in the energy of Gemini, which is possibly, with the dualistic practice, one of the most powerful energies, because it's teaching us about us. It's teaching us that we are soul twins. We are a pair of twins that come into this world. One of us heads to the more light side or the social side, and the other one goes into the intuitive, aka dark side. And if we're not careful, they're going to grab one of us and hold on to it longer than they deserve to. Our rulers are Jupiter and Mercury. Jupiter because the day is Thursday, Mercury because the energy of Gemini is ruled by Mercury. There is no abundance, prosperity message here. The only message I'm getting here is hold on to yourself. Hold on to yourself. There's no money grab. This isn't a heist. This is real spiritual work. Hold on to yourself. Because it's no longer a situation where it's so much fun to just pretend to not know. It's so much fun to be ignorant. We're not there anymore. We're not there anymore. It's hold on to yourself and wake up. Because this is going to become a very bumpy ride, and we don't need you losing one part of yourself for any foolishness. The energy is masculine. We have one retro going on. Well, actually 2 retros going on. Pluto, Saturn is retro in Pisces. And then we're working with the colors of purple and blue. Let's dive into the candles. So we have blue and purple as our candle colors, and we also have our blue opal. That stone is a stone of resonating. It's to balance our throat chakra. Now, as I was talking so much about balance, I realized it didn't dawn on me to talk about the throat chakra, right? So we have our number. Hold on to that number. We have our number for this new moon. It's a number of balance, right? We have our date, which is Jupiter. Jupiter is one who teaches us but also rewards us, and it's not a financial reward. I'm sorry if I get very strict when I say that, but a lot of times when people do tarot cards, it's for monetary gains. It's not a financial reward, it's a spiritual reward, right? Then we have our energy that we're working with, which is Gemini. Gemini is ruled on Wednesday, which is ruled by Mercury. Now we have what was going on in April, which is that Mercury retrograde, which is telling us Mercury is direct. So anything that happens on this June 6, 2024 has nothing to do with Mercury. Mercury ain't do it, because Mercury's not retrograde. Mercury's direct. Whatever happens on this day is your fault. It's you, your mommy, and your daddy fault. In other words, right? So that's what we're working at. We have retrogrades going on in Pluto and Saturn. They're both in Pisces, which means the third eye might be a little delusional, but the third eye just gives you pictures anyway, so there's really nothing to worry about. So let's close out our new moon. Our new moon, we have Justice, which is telling us be kind to yourself. Don't overjudge yourself. Don't overpush yourself. And we're not talking about, the guilty parties that should be judging themselves. We're talking about you, the one that we've been talking about since April, right? Then we have our number of harmony, and then we have our colors of blue and purple. Blue meaning harmony, once again, harmony, balance, and purple meaning your majesty, yours, you, the person that is listening to me right now, your majesty. You understand? And then you have your stone to balance the throat chakra. That's what we're working with. I'm sorry it took so long to get to this point, but that's what we're working with in the first half of June. I got a feeling June is going to lead us into something bigger that's coming possibly in July or in the last quarter of the year. Let's go into our full moon. Now with the full moon coming in on June 21st, of 2024. We have a rise at 9:02 p.m. and a setting at 6:44 a.m. the next day. The energy is in Capricorn. I pause only because I think this is it. I think this is that turning point. I think this is that turning point where we're going to reach that change in the year that we were looking for. Now, mind you, June 21st, the zodiac sign that is ruling is Cancer. And we have a full moon in no nonsense Capricorn, coming off of a new moon of dualistic Gemini. June is bound to be an interesting month because Capricorn is no nonsense. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is a no nonsense energy. If Saturn is ever filled with nonsense, Saturn either had too much to drink or Saturn was sitting with somebody who was getting high and Saturn got a secondhand high, because Saturn is no nonsense. Like, my entire childhood, from studying spirituality to studying the ignorance of religion, Saturn has always been no nonsense. Like, it's law and order. I'm sorry, my words were escaping me. It's law and order. It's discipline and honor. Ethics. There's no gray line for Saturn. Like, you either did it or you didn't. And Saturn will invest so much in doing that research to figure out if you did it or if you didn't do it. And Saturn can't be fooled. So we have that energy closing out the month of June. That's exciting. I haven't seen the energy of Capricorn get tested like it's about to be tested right now. Because one flaw of Capricorn is that she is so easily influenced. Don't forget, like, she's one of our Earth sisters. So I know Capricorn energy. She's one of our Earth sisters. She is so easily influenced. Like, where Bull is known for being stubborn, Virgo is a narcissist, Capricorn is easily influenced. As strong, as powerful, as tough as she is, she's a pushover. No one expects that. So it's like you have this situation where on the balance side, you don't want to mess with the goat. The goat will take you down, right? But when she's not feeling up to herself and she's not who she wants to be, oh my god, is she a pushover? I don't like it. I don't like that side of her. That's why I said this is going to be interesting, because we're in the energy of Cancer. Okay? Remember in April how I was talking, also in May, how I was talking about the water sign and how manipulating that they are, and how they pretty much manipulate people and get people to do what they want them to do, and then after they get what they want, it's like you might get the crumbs or you might not. I think this June 21st full moon, this is the closure of all y'all getting some crumbs, because Cancer being on a Saturday, being ruled by Saturn, being in the energy of Capricorn, we are in that heavy Saturn energy for the moon. But the day the zodiac ruler is the moon. So the moon is in Saturn, being ruled by Saturn in Cancer energy. And it's up to Capricorn to put her hooves down, to straighten out her horns, and to understand this is serious. This whole year has been a year of manipulation. Like, I don't mean to veer off to the left or to the right. It just feels like that. Like, this whole year has just been a year of manipulation, and I'm so tired. Do I think the Capricorn energy is strong enough to withstand this face off Cancer rulership in a moon in Capricorn on this Saturday? I couldn't tell you. I don't know how the Capricorns are feeling collectively, but I'm going to tell you that this has been a year of manipulation and it's tiring. Oh, is it tiring? So Capricorn, come June 21st, the moon is relying on you. Our intuitive selves are aligning with you to get us through the rest of the month of June. Don't get fooled by that water crustacean. Don't get fooled, because you know that's all it's about. It's about manipulating you so that the agenda that doesn't even serve your purpose can come to be. Don't let that happen. We're gonna walk into our colors and then close out our month. So there's your responsibility, dear Capricorn. Your responsibility is to hold on to that baton, pass it in the month of July, peacefully, gracefully. As you process this energy, understand that you're the grounding one. You're the most grounded of all the zodiac brothers and sisters. Your colors don't play either. Brown and black, like, ew, who wears that? I know who wears that. The law. You know, like, I'm sorry to be theatrical about it, but Saturn rules over the law. We have been going through a past, what is that, since 2010, 2011. So it's been over 12 years, 13 years of police manipulation, police brutality, and all that stuff. I think that's that stage in life that we're coming to a closure about. Remember, if you can remember back I think it was 2011, Michael Brown was shot. 2012, it was Trayvon Martin, and the law just kept getting manipulated up until 2020 with George Floyd, where it became like, whoa, I think this is now a problem. I think it's that energy, that group of energetic bodies that are leaving, and whatever it is that they came here for, I'm not sure what it is, but dear Capricorn, just steadfast, all right, chica? Steadfast, mister, and hold on tight and just ride it out. Let them do what they have to do and be gone about their energy, because that manipulation is not fun. It is not fun at all. It is not entertaining. It's and we don't need any hurt horned beasts out here. We don't need a hurt Aries, we don't need to hurt Taurus, we don't need to hurt Capricorn. We are the 3 horned beasts out here, and we don't need to be hurt. So just hold on tight, don't let go, pass the baton to the next sign in July, and just keep life going. Guys, we are so close to the end. I'm about to put the month on the screen so we can see what's going on. So that's our month. That is our month. It looks so pretty on paper, but in the spiritual realm, it's a lot of work that we're doing. It looks so pretty on paper. You have the more illogical side of ourselves with the Gemini, the purple and blue, the 666, and then you have the more logical side of ourselves with Capricorn, the brown and black, and then our stone to balance our throat chakra. And then in the middle you have Justice, who's looking at both sides and is saying, look, sweetheart, remember you heard that song from Chris Brown that just stated under the influence? Let's get out of the influence. Let's make sure that any influence you get under is actually influence that you want to be under, if that makes sense. So that's what's going on this month. It's a situation of balance. It's a situation of quiet. Don't make any loud movements. Don't make any loud motions. You have 2 very powerful energies that are working with us. And these are, when you look at this stuff, look at it from your personal moon sign's perspective. When I'm doing moon readings, I'm always in my intuitive side, which is a Scorpion. So if you see me go hard on a Scorpion energy, that's because I'm a moon in Scorpio, I can read the energy. Like, that's the energy that's being fed off of that group of individuals. So in this Gemini and Capricorn moon, keep in mind your sun sign and your moon sign are two different personalities. You are two people in one. You are not the same. Don't ever think that the two of you are the same, because you're not. And what you have to keep in mind is all of this is our moon, our intuitive brothers and sisters. It has nothing to do with our suns, okay? Every last one of these readings that I do is dealing with the moon sign. It deals with the changes that our moon energy goes through twice a month, every month. We are unlike the sun sign, where as a bull, I can walk into October still being a bull and understanding that I'm a bull. It is the sign of Libra or Scorpio in October. As a moon, no one ever recognizes the moon. So as a moon, when I walk into, for example, Cancer sun sign, Capricorn moon, full moon sign, I have to teach myself, dude, you're still a Scorpio in your moon. No matter what's going on around you in the intuitive world, in the illogical world, in the unseen world, you're still yourself. Don't get played. That's how you have to operate. Don't get played. So that's pretty much our year. Our month. Sorry for these like misspoken words. I'm tired. I'm so tired, and I'm just trying to get through everything. It's a beautiful month, really. When you look at it, it's a beautiful month. I'm not sure which lens you'll be looking at it from, but try to see it from the non-biased lens. Try to see it from the non-brainwashed lens. Try to see it from the point of view of openness instead of ignorance. You know, it's so safe to be ignorant. I hate that this year I'm in that mode. It's so safe to be ignorant, right? It's so safe. I feel safe. Give me my warm ignorant blankets. I cover and go be one with the other ignorance and just be one. Like, no. Look at this the way that it's presenting itself. This is all us. This is all our intuitive selves. This is all our soul's energy. And your soul is pretty much telling you, look, sister, we're heading down another journey. We do this twice a month, every month. Depending on the sun signs, depending on what's going on in the moon signs, it might be easy, it might not be easy. Either way, buckle down, let's get this done, and then we can move on to the next month. It's not that serious. The only time it gets serious is when that ignorance tries to penetrate through and hurt you where it has no business hurting you. And we're going to work on that right now with the meditation.